Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sally Pinto and I'm from the Yonkers NNORC, Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We launched back in January of 2020 and we're here to serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We have lots of fun programs and activities, and we also have a lot of resources for you as well. Our programs include meditation chair yoga, body mind fitness, bingo, and any other programs that you might be interested, like arts and gardening. We have our resource specialist, Alexa Smith, who can help you with finding services and activities out there for you, as well as our nurse, Barbara Simone, who can help answer your health-related questions. We're here for you, we're here for our community, and we look forward to seeing you in our programs. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alexa Smith, the resource specialist with the Yonkers NNORC. I'm here to help with application assistance, referrals for home delivered meals, and transportation services will be coming soon. We also offer Zoom activities and Zoom programs. And if you have any other questions or concerns, I'm here to help. Thank you so much and enjoy the program.
Welcome. I'm Barbara Simone, registered nurse. I recently retired from Westchester County's Health Department as a public health nurse. I am now here to try to assist you with any medical or preventive care issues. Enjoy this program, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Z. Thank you, NNORC and the library and everyone who is joining us today with this, with art today. And as anyone knows me, I just love art. Art is everywhere. And by the way, Z, if you notice the lighting is different, it's somehow my camera just keeps doing that. I don't know why. So now it's bright, but that's good. So let's get started. So today we're going to draw one of my favorite animals, which is a lion. I'm going to show you a picture of the lion in a second, but before we do that, I want to show you what we need for what we need today. All we need is a pencil. I have a mechanical pencil, but you can use any kind of pencil. An eraser, right? And a piece of paper, drawing paper, preferably. But if you want to draw on line paper, that's fine too. Because with me, there's no rules. It's just have fun. It's not a competition. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have fun. Also, we're gonna use some color pencils. So if I have limited color pencils. All I have is these colors here. So we'll make it work. But bring out your color pencils, your crayons, and whatever you want to use. We're gonna do that on the second half. We're gonna get into the colors. All right, so I want to share my screen real quick and show you what we're going to be drawing today. This is our drawing. All right, so for all those, for all those who see my screen, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, Mark.
Okay, all right, good. Yep, that's what we're drawing today. So I want to point some things out again. As you know, I always tell you, point some out that drawing is all about shapes, lines, and curves, right? There's circles, there's lines, curves, there's triangles, right? There's circles here. We're gonna use circles to help create this mouth, circle here, lines, curves, right? That's all it is. Circle, the shape of the head, and that's it. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna go upside down for half a second and then turn this light off, and here we go. All right, so everyone get your pencils and your paper out, and I'm gonna get my reference ready. Sorry for all the noise. All right, so I have my little reference here, my little drawing here, but you guys don't have to worry about this. You'll just follow along with me. I'll have this on the side, so every once in a while we'll refer back to that drawing. All right, so let us begin with the eyes, the portal to the soul. All right, so I'm just going to draw a line right down the middle of our page. Right, and directly across, like almost like a cross, we're going to draw the eye lines. So this is the divider line. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get your ruler out. And we're going to draw our, so we just start off with a circle here, a circle here, right? Right, that's what we got. There's 2 circles, right? And then right on above the circle, you're going to draw another circle and you're going to color it in, darken it. Right? Looks a little crazy right now, but it's okay. It'll start to make sense in a minute. So around the bottom of the circle, I want you to kind of darken that in because lion eyes are kind of cool. They have these black outer shape. It looks cool to me. I really like the way they look. I just love lions. Lions are my favorite animal because 1, I am a Leo, so I'm biased, right? But 2, I just, looking at all of the National Geographic documentaries that I've always seen, just learning about the family structure, their unity, their strength, their confidence, the way they move in the world is just so inspiring. I just love lions. So what we're gonna do here is, I don't know if you can see that. Try to get a little closer here, right? On the outer circle, you're gonna color in that little part where just make it a little bit more darker on the edges here, right? So as we get closer to the top of the left side of the left, our left, his right eye is, we'll just do a little curve here and come and almost coming over the top of the eye and coming down, just like that. So you curve up, curve all the way down. And we're gonna just go ahead and do the other side as well. Curve, start to do a curve on the top of the eye and come right back down. Right, and then you just fill in that little space between the eye. Fill it in. It's okay if it's not perfect, because if you look at the lion's eye, it's not perfect. It's a lot of curves, and just fill in that space with blackness in between there. Between that. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, before we do anything else, right, this little space here, we're gonna just kind of draw a weird shape here. It's kind of like a triangle, but it doesn't come to a point. It's gonna come across here like this. I forgot what the name of this shape is. It's not a triangle, it's not a square, but it's somebody out there knows. It's been a while since I've studied all my shapes, but this is whatever the shape that is. But draw it very light, because this right here is just helping us structure the face. So don't darken this in. This is not going to be in our final product. We're just going to use this to help us create our lion nose. All right. So very light. Use light lines, which is called sketch lines, as we've talked about in past drawings. So almost like an upside down house, right? It looks like a house a little bit. Right, but very light. Use it very light. Let's get back to it. Okay. Now, for this part here on the top of the nose, we're gonna curve, come up, curve around to the center of that line, come back up, curve around. Right. Then you're gonna come up, curve it back around again. Right. And just have it all meet in the center, right? Then we're going to draw the nostrils, which will start from here, and just curve it around like this. Now, please, someone interrupt if I'm going too fast or too slow, okay? Because sometimes I just start talking and I start moving and I'm going too fast, and maybe someone don't want to interrupt and feel like, they're being rude, but it's okay. I want you to tell me if I'm going too fast, too slow, if you can't hear me, or anything. Or if you have a comment, a question, please feel free to just pop on in. I will not be offended. I promise you that. All right. Draw a little line in the center there. This is his nose. All right. This line, and once you've structured the nose, you can go ahead and use the darker lines over the sketch line. All right. And then bring this down here to the center. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to draw a little circle here. Maybe let's make it more squarish. More squarish. Let's make it squarish, square-ish. Right. So let's use a square line, square, light, very light. Use very light lines for this. Right. And in this part we'll bring it all the way around here. Bring this half circle here like that. Right. There you go. This Pinto is coming in. All right. All right. So now we have we have two light squares and a half circle. Right. So we're just forming the shape of our lions. I'll fix this up. Just match the other eye. All right. So we're gonna bring this line and curve downward like this. Other side, curve it down like that. And let it curve at the edge. And we can darken in this. This is kind of his lion lip. Darken that in a little bit. All right. Now here we're going to draw his beard, or whatever they call this piece on the lion. Let's draw the strands of fur. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You could just feel free to make this fur. You're gonna also bring it from the lip, bring it on down. And we'll do the rest in colors. All right. So bring this, let's go back in and define this, make sure we have this curving down like that. And then here on this edge, we'll bring this, just define his cheekbones a little bit. So, and then we will draw these little dots, which is where the whiskers are coming from. We'll save the whiskers for the coloring. Right? And these they don't have to be perfectly lined up. Right? It's okay if it's not perfect. Right? So let's go back up here, right, to his eye with that line that we had. We're gonna bring it down a little bit more. Sorry, that's Lisa calling. She forgot I'm in class, so I'll call her back later. Sorry for that. And so for the eyes, we'll just draw these little lines here, bring it down a little bit further here. So it's kind of connecting to his nose bone. That's kind of inside underneath the fur. And just draw little sketch lines here. It's called cross hatching. She's calling again. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to draw a little curved lines here. A little cross hatching inside the face to symbolize the jaw structure. All right. Now this is the part that makes him look different than all the other big cats, what we're about to do. But before we get to that, I want to go ahead and, so now we're going to, we don't need this anymore. These lines here, we're going to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of it because we've used it for what we needed it for. Go ahead and erase it. And if you drew with light enough lines, it's not going to look so bad. But if you darkened it and now you're trying to erase it, it's going to be messy. So hopefully you use nice light sketch lines, and now we can get rid of it. And now we have, I need to fix this eye. it's always good to go back in as you see fit to touch up what you need to touch up. Because we know nothing's perfect. And we're not really striving for perfection. We're just striving to make us feel good, not about being perfect. So I wanted a perfect photograph drawing. I'll just take a picture of it. I like to add my little style to it too. You can add your style however you want to do it. I like this technique called cross hatching. This is called cross hatching. Creates like a sketch type of technique here, right? So now we're going to just draw little lines in here to symbolize the skull structure that's underneath. Because if the fur, if we got rid of the fur, you would see these bone structure that's underneath here, but it kind of shows an indication of it without going too deep into it. Because there is fur on top of it. So you combine these skull structure with the fur on top. You just keep doing your little cross hatching, which doubles as sketching and fur indication. Right? So it has two different meanings or two different purpose. All right, so now we go on the top of the head. This is where we are, kind of like. So now we're gonna draw his mane, right? Where the mane begins. This is what makes lions different than all the other big cats. Their mane, at least the males, right? This is what I like about lions. They look completely different. Their locks are so beautiful. So we're just gonna draw like from the roots of the mane. We're gonna just, well, actually what I wanna do is before we actually start drawing the strands, I wanna kind of help ourselves by very light, going back to light lines. We're gonna just lightly draw a line going around to indicate where our mane will begin. So very light, just draw. This is the hairline or where the main line. See what I did there, the main line? Anyway, this is where we're gonna start right here. So we kind of have a guideline. So we're not just all over the place, right? So once you've had, it looks like a bald head, but it's not, it's his hairline, the main line, right? So we're gonna draw a little bit more cross hatching to indicate the fur, where the fur and the skull meets, right? And now we're gonna begin to draw our mane. Start anywhere you want on top of here. Just start to draw these strands. We're almost at the halfway point, so we're gonna get to the colors in a minute. We're doing perfect on time. I gotta keep remembering to look at the screen so I can see if I'm on camera. If I forget, you see me drawing off camera, you just let me know because I'm not really looking at the camera. I'm looking at my page, so might be drawing off camera. So I need you to let me know if I go off camera. And then, so if you want to shadow, do some shading in from between the face and where the hair meets to show some type of depth between the hair and his face, you can do that to show the dividing line between his hair and his face. You can go back up here if you want and do the same. You can shadow in. This shows that the hair is sprouting out of his head. So shade that in a little bit and then just continue your curves and your lines. Shadow, sprout, the roots. I would play music right now, but with Zoom, me talking over the music it gets kind of janky. So if we were live and in person, I would play some nice soft music right now, and it would help. It helps my creativity. It helps me to relax and to just get into the whole mood of the art vibe, right? So what I'm doing here is, again, I'm cross hatching in some spots, shading in other spots, just to show the, let me let Kelly in, right? And showing some shadows and how that works. Shadow in some of his mouth. You don't want to do too much because we want to save some of that for the colors. This is going to be a black and white picture with just pencil. I would go in on the shadowing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to save it. All right, so go back up here. Let Connie in. Come on in, Connie. Continue to draw strands of hair. Does not, I repeat, does not have to be perfect. Does not have to look exactly like the drawing. I don't like drawing. Well, I don't say I don't like. I do like those realistic drawings. I'm more of a cartoonist than I am, a realistic artist. I like things to look more cartoony. That's just my taste. But I like looking at realistic drawings, but that's not my skill set, nor is it my taste for my own personal drawings. I like to add my own style to my drawings as well. All right, and we're gonna just do a little bit more, and we're gonna do a little bit more strands, and by 4:30 we'll start coloring so we can get to it. Keeping my eye on that clock because I want to make sure we get to the colors. So shadow around the edges to show the depth, and then come out of the shadows with the hair. He went to see the wizard, and now he has courage of a lion. And he ain't lying. Yes, that was a corny joke. I don't care. It's fun for me. All right. Shadow, shade. And what you can also do with shading, when you shade, if you want, you can take your finger and you can just kind of smudge it to make it look more smooth for the shading. Take your finger. If you don't want to use your finger because it gets dirty like that, you can also use this. They have these smudgers. It comes with this. Let me go in here. That works just the same if you don't want to dirty your fingers. But we artists, we don't care. We'll wash our hands. But I'm just giving you options here. Leo's in the house. A few more minutes and we'll get to the colors. Let's go ahead and keep creating your strands, your layers. The hair has different layers, as you can see here. His mane has different layers here. Right. So we want to create that feel of layering. So that same technique that we use by the face with the shadow, the shading, and then the strands, we can do the same over here to show the different layers of his mane. Shade. I hope you are doing well out there. I hope your line is coming out well, and I hope some people will be willing to share their lion drawing with us. If not, no pressure, it's okay. But I really do want to see your lion. So we can create our own lion pride. Shade. One more minute and we'll get to the coloring. Okay, so as we get into the colors, I want to let you know what our game plan is going to be. So what we're going to do is, as you the light is, let me turn this light on, see what that's even worse. Okay, let me see. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take a break from the drawing. You guys can still work on your drawing while I show you this. So now, as we get into the colors, right? What we're going to do here is, you see this light color here? We're going to lay this color. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but we're going to lay this color down. We're going to just color this whole line. Well, we're going to leave this part white. We're not gonna, all up in here, we're going to leave that. But we're going to take this color here where my mouse is, and we're going to just lay it all down very lightly. And then we're going to go on top and add the darker colors. And we're going to just build on top of it. So we're going to lay the light first and build on top of it. If we were painting, I would lay the dark parts first and then put the lighter parts on top. But being that we're using color pencil, it's going to be the opposite. All right, so I think I want to add some more of this here. So just so you could know what the game plan is, so you see what it looks like. All right. Let's get started. All right. All right. I'm gonna add some more. I think he has too much forehead here. I want to bring some of his mane down. See, you could always fix things, because that's what we do here. We fix. You can fix. You can do what you want with your drawing, but I think he needs more mane here. It's too much forehead. Right. And see how easily I just fixed that? Just added less forehead. I even want to do something that's not in the drawing. I'm going to add a strand of mane. I'm just going to have it hang like that because it's cool like that. I just felt like doing that. You can do stuff like that too if you want. Or you cannot, or not. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to take this color here. Kind of yellowy, but it's not quite bright yellow. Kind of like a yellow, I don't know, like dark yellow, right? Just gonna lay that down like as I showed you just now, right? I'm gonna leave this part so we can, you'll see. So let's just get started. So grab your color pencils. I hope everyone's caught up. If you're not caught up and you're still drawing your line, that's okay too. Just pay attention. But we're just gonna go ahead and start laying. And I gotta be careful with this thing here too, because this underneath my drawing will create unwanted texture. So what I'm going to do is lay down my book here on top of that so we don't get that underneath. So you can do the same so we can have a smooth surface, right? And just go ahead and lay it on down. One color. We're going to leave the mane separate. We're going to color the mane separately. I'm going to leave the nose. I'm not going to color over the eyes. There we go. And I'm only going to color in a little bit of this part. It's going to do like a circular motion and leave that part white. And we'll blend that in later. It's going to do a circular motion, color, and leave that in, and we'll blend that in later. Just fill that in. Nice and smooth like. Nice and smooth like. All right. So before we start going in, we're going to darken all those parts in with a darker brown. But I also want to take a little bit. I want to take this color here and go in on this part of the eye. Well, you know what? I'm going to use brown for that eye. See, because the way his eyes look, it's a little kind of brown in there. See that? It looks red in this this thing, but I'm gonna use brown. All right. Take our brown. Go in. Right. And now the black is not, now it's like black, it looks kind of gray because the brown is so dark. So you can go in and take your black color pencil and you can go ahead and darken that in to show the contrast. You can go ahead and use your black and all that stuff that we did with the eye that was black, we can go ahead and fill that in so we can get the contrast of his eye. Same on the other side. Go in and draw the pupil, color in that pupil really nice and dark. Just really get the black in there. Now I want to show you something. We did this with our cat a week ago. We're gonna do it again, or 2 weeks ago, wherever that was. Right? Go back in and fill that in. But I know I didn't, I forgot to tell you to have white out. So you can do this later, right? So see what that looks like. So we're gonna take our white out, right? If you have it. And you're gonna create a glimmer in his eye. Take a little white out, little technique. Right there, get a little glimmer. Look at the key to my glimmer. Let's do it on this side too, a little light. Little line right there. Makes it look, gives it the effect that he has light reflection in his eye. See that? So let that dry. Let's go take our brown. Looks like black, but it's brown, trust me. All right, and now we're gonna go in and right here, all the spots where we was using our shading, we're gonna go in and just go over it really lightly, blend it in with your, that's what I like about color pencils as opposed to crayons, is that the colors really blend nicely. When you lay them on top of each other, they don't overpower each other, they work together in unison. The colors, that is. So you had that lighter color underneath, and right on top of it, you have the darker colors, creating this nice shaded contrast effect, right? And you can even go in here and kind of create a little indication that there's a bone underneath here, under the flesh and under the hair. Really blend it in, right? So the way that a skull is designed, it has like a little ridge by the eye ridge. I'm using non-scientific terms here, so I know it's not called a ridge, but that's the name I have for it. If anyone knows what the name of this part of your skull is, let me know. But what you can do once you start getting to parts of the body that has a curvature, right? You can take this pencil, the color pencil, and kind of do like a little nice little curve, like the color circular motion, and then just kind of blend it in, because right underneath there's a curved, you know, it's creating this feel of a ridge. And this hair that we created here, I'm gonna use this darker brown to create like kind of like a shadow. Matter of fact, you might want to use the black. The black will work better. You can, right underneath, not on top of the hair strand. If you guys added your hair strand like I did, I'm gonna go underneath it, like right next to it, and create this illusion that there's a shadow. His hair create a little shadow of his little Superman curl. Right? Going back to the brown now. circular motion over the eye and just blend it all in and leave that space there. Leave it there so you can see the other color underneath. And all those cross hatching that we did, you can go right on top of it and highlight the cross hatching that you did earlier. Let's go along it and just kind of leave there with our circular motion again, blend it in. You notice I'm leaving space between the brown and the yellow. It creates a shadowy, a shading effect. And same thing here. Nice curved. Blend it, blend it, blend it. Where you did the little dots, you can kind of go in there a little bit. But you're gonna leave that white space in there. That's like that gray hair that he had in there. Just blend it in. Blend it, blend it, blend it. Right. You could take a break from this using your brown, so you can go back and forth. So if you're getting too tired, you doing the same thing, take a break, take your black, right, and go back. All that shading that we did, the shading part, you can go ahead and use your black and get in there. Take a break from one thing and go back and come back to it. When you get tired of doing this, you take a break and go back to your browns. I hope you're all doing okay out there. Drawing land, you go ahead and continue to do that. I'm just gonna do something real quick. Continue doing your shading. Do something real quick. All right, here we go. All right, going back to my shading. Just the outer perimeters. But once you start doing the coloring the main, you're going to see how this is going to blend. It's going to look beautiful if you do it right. We have a little bit, about 17 minutes left. So we have enough time to. Lorraine, hi, you have a question? Hi, Lorraine. Lorraine turned the camera on. I thought she had a question. I don't know if you're talking to me, Lorraine, you're on mute. You're on mute, Lorraine, if you.
Yeah. Hi, Mark. I like your classes.
Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Thank you for coming.
I'm not doing a lion this time because when the class is ended, I'm going to show you a lion that I did using espresso coffee.
You use espresso coffee to create a line? Is that what
Yeah, and I used the brush like watercolor. So I'll show it to you at the end when it's show and tell.
I can't wait, Lorraine. Thank you.
I love your classes. When are you having your next class?
The next one is going to be on the 29th of this month.
Oh, great.
Yes, and we're gonna be celebrating Hispanic month, and we're gonna be drawing a skull.
A skull.
So that's gonna be cool because we really get to see the anatomy of the face. That we've been drawing faces all this time. So I think that's gonna be cool to see underneath how it all works out. But I'm glad you're here, Lorraine, and I'm glad you're enjoying the class, and I love your energy. And thank you for,
Yeah, I love your classes. I just discovered it maybe like a month and a half ago.
oh yeah,
I,
it's off and on. We don't have it every week, but we try to do
yeah,
as much as we can.
I used to live in Yonkers before I got married.
Uh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
with the beauty of technology, doesn't matter where you live. You can just
Exactly. I
we'll
love
be together.
Zoom. It's tremendous. Okay, I'll let you go back to your drawing and
Oh no,
stuff.
thank you. You're not stopping the production, so thank you for hopping on. I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, remember earlier we talked about the layers. We're gonna go back in over here and do some of that shading using the black. So once we start coloring in the hair, the mane, you're gonna see how beautiful that is. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to do it together, but I think you can all do it. You know, and you know, it would be great if, and I don't know if Z will sign up on this, but if you all don't want to share your drawings today, when you finish your drawing, I'm gonna go back to the brown. I'm gonna go back in. So while I'm talking, when you finish your drawings, like if we don't finish today, but you go back and finish your drawing, what would be great, and Z can come on and tell me if this is a bad idea. I didn't ask her permission. This is, she tells me it's a bad idea, then listen to her. But I think if you all email Z your drawings, she can put it up or get it put up on the website, and your drawings can be up there. If you don't want to share it today, if you want to share it later, I think that'd be a great idea. And Z can tell me later if I crossed the line just now by just saying that. But I think that'd be awesome. You know, have you could display your drawings, and it doesn't even have to be this week's drawing. It could be last week's and the week before. You know, if you finish your drawings and it looks even if you don't finish it, actually, it doesn't even have to be finished. You just want to share your stuff, and we can put it up on the social media, and everyone can see your beautiful lion.
Virtual art portfolio.
Yeah, virtual museum. Virtual museum. So if you see, I'm leaving space. That's why we laid down that yellow. So when we color on top of it with our brown, we can just leave space to show texture, right? And if you're trying to follow exactly my strokes, don't have to. You could just kind of go, be free with it. It's not a one way to do it. So I hope you're not like, oh my God, he's doing it too fast or whatever. I want you to kind of use me as a guide, but use your own techniques, create your own style. I'm all about creating your own style. All right, so this nose, this darker nose here, what I want to use is black, right? But I don't want you to dark, like how we did the eyes, how dark that was. I want you to, with the black, I want you to use kind of lighter strokes for this, because we're gonna mix the black with the brown, right? So around the edges, first of all, let's go back in and draw, like kind of draw directly over the nose lines, the structure of the nose, the nostril, color in the nostrils, and kind of go over, right? So once you go over it, the nose, I want you to just around the edges, not the whole nose, around the edges, using light strokes, kind of use a circular motion. You're gonna see how we're gonna blend this with the brown. It's gonna look awesome. But use circular motions for that part of the nose. Around the edges, you're gonna leave the inside of the inner parts, leave that alone, and just kind of lightly color around the nose. Blend in those circular motions that we did here, and then take the brown and let me sharpen my brown a little bit. Yeah. Now we're talking. And blend, do the same exact thing, but now you can go in the little spaces that we had in between there. You're gonna blend that in, blend it in with the brown. Blend it in. Now you can go back in with the black and go back and forth. You use a little bit more darker strokes in there. Now that you added your brown, you can go back in. You can blend them together. Keep going back and forth, back and forth. And then there's still little spaces in there. If you take your yellow and you go back in there and fill that in, and you just have a nice blended nose. Yeah, I like it. All right, I'll take a brown. Let's go back in and continue our blending over here. All right, so it's 4:50 right now. So I want to 5 more minutes. We'll take the last 5 minutes of the class to share and talk and do what we do. We're gonna spend this next. So with the beard here, we're gonna take a little brown, just a little bit. Just blend this a little bit, just on the top of his mouth here, like so. Darken some of that in there, like so. Take the black, go back in to the lip, darken in the lips. All right. Some of that brown, a little bit more brown, a little bit of the yellow, just blend it in a little bit. But you're not gonna color the whole thing, you're gonna leave it white because it's his. He has like a gray hair right there. That in a little bit like that. A little more brown, blend, blend, blend lightly. Let it blend out into the gray. You can maybe let a few of the strands loose. So you want that. All right, we'll do a little bit more of the forehead, and then the next three minutes we'll stop, and the rest you're gonna do the hair. You're gonna do the same technique, but you're gonna use strokes for the mane. But I trust that you all can do it without me. Use some of that cross hatching technique that we used earlier. You can use that with the pencil, color pencil. The blending. You can even do that same technique. You don't want to. Yeah, we finished the face. So all we have left is the mane. All right. You can take a wet wipe if you want, and I'm gonna show you something. It's for blending techniques. right? Take some wipes, some wipes and put the wipes around your finger like this, right? If you don't want to dirty your fingers, and you could just kind of blend that stuff in, blend the colors in. But be very careful because we're not using watercolor paper, so you don't want to smudge it too much. Very lightly blend that stuff in. Get it looking smooth and natural. Nice clean part here. Just blends. Use the same motions you've used. Be careful. You don't want to smudge it too much. There we go. Look at that. All right. I think we're good for now. So for the hair, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take your light pencil. You're going to color around, just lay it all down, And then you're going to go back in and then do the same techniques. Color it in, right? That's all we have for today. So,
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from NORC. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.